Good morning.
Good morning, coffee moaners. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to our humble channel where we have, I think, the best community on social media.
On planet Earth.
Yes. And if you could please hit the subscribe button, help us with that algorithm, that nasty, naughty little algorithm, so we can get these videos out to other people.
We need to control the algorithm.
We need to. That's what Netanyahu's going to do. It's costing him millions, but he's going to do it.
And I'm amazed that it's not costing him as much as I thought it would cost him.
No, but I noticed that the 6 million.
Yeah.
No, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, before all of that, we just want to tell you what we are going to be talking about. And then I want you to have a think about a mini moan that you would like to make. I just did this over on Instagram and we want to read a few out. But whilst you're having a think, a mini moan, like there was a great one just now we ended with, no tea bags. Somebody else desperately needed the toilet, but the builders were in. So that kind of think of a mini moan.
What was your little moan this morning?
My mini moan was that I came down and there was a massive humdinger from Chi-Chi that I nearly stepped in and then I had to clear up.
Right.
But we are going to be talking about the IDF, the Israeli occupation army that is stalking the Sumud Flotilla, incredible humanitarians, peaceful humanitarians from over 44 countries gathered together in a fleet of ships heading towards Gaza to open a humanitarian corridor are being stalked and terrorized by the Israeli occupation army. So we're going to be talking about that.
And attached to that story, we have some clips from some of the crew members, some updates from the ships, just to give you some kind of real tangible sense of what it's like on the water.
Yeah, we've got some great clips as ever. Also, Trump's and Pete Hegseth's speeches yesterday, which were gobsmacking, we have to say.
Well, and also MeToo was absolutely spot on. Unless some other meeting was happening behind this meeting, it literally was
an email. Could have been an email.
Could have been an email.
Yeah. And can I just say hello to my dad? I hope it all turned on for you, Dad. I hope you're watching. I love my daddy so much.
And I don't think Pete Hegseth was referring to Nadia's dad when he was talking about getting rid of dudes in dresses.
Yes, he actually did say that. We're also going to be talking about FARAGE. And where did the original saying, the snake oil salesman,
snake salesman. Let me just put it in.
Oil salesman come from? Mark's got a little bit of history for us on that.
Yeah.
And as ever, we've got a couple of funny videos to cheer us along and make us smile. So settle down with us for the next hour or so. Make yourself a nice cuppa or a big coffee, and I love the people at work that go into the toilet to listen to this. They make me laugh so much.
Covert coffee moaners.
Yes.
I love that. It's kind of like eventually there will come a point where if you listen to coffee moaning, the FARAGE police will try and probably evict you from the country.
Exactly. And Dad, if you're listening, there's lots of people here saying to you, hello, Teddy. Hello, Teddy.
Yeah.
We love you, Teddy. So before we go into the globe and the horror of the globe and the overwhelmingness of what is going on, we thought, like I was just doing over on Instagram, let's go for a mini moan, right? Because I think at the moment, I don't know about anyone else, but when I moan about smaller things, I sort of feel guilty because I think of everything that's going on in the world. So I thought, I'm just going to give a few minutes to a mini moan. Mark, what's a mini moan of yours?
I haven't had anything to moan about this morning.
Oh.
No, which is why I've come on here, because I need to moan about the world. I've actually had, lots of you will have seen, I'm actually in a place where things haven't changed, but things are slightly more coherent around my mother and her care. So I'm not having a moan this morning, but that's not to say there isn't a lot to moan about.
And Bubbles and Chucky, I love this. My friend puts her earphones under her hijab to listen to you.
Wow.
And nobody knows.
So can you put, the problem is we get so many DMs on our Instagram that if you were to send us photos, we'd probably just miss them. But I'd love to see images of covertly listening coffee moaners.
Oh, we're on a boil water notice. Susan Sellings.
Oh.
Where do you live, Susan?
Good God. Why is that?
Well, because there's something wrong with the water.
Have you seen that the water firms are going to work out a way of putting cameras in every house so that you can see what you're flushing away?
Good
Did you hear
God.
about that?
No.
Yeah.
Hillary Daly says, do you remember when we did Sparks of Joy? I do. We did
What
that
the
through the
fuck are they?
we did that all the way through the pandemic. What's a little spark of joy that you can find? So there you go. You can either give us a little mini moan or a little spark of
Victoria
joy.
Moores is a real difficult one.
Yeah.
One of the dog's leads broke on the walk this morning.
I see. I love that. That
Quintessential.
is quintessentially a mini moan, because
Classic.
the people would go, your lead broke, you know. I mean, the world's imploding. No. But then how do you get your dog home safely?
There's so many ricocheting complications.
You know, you've got to bend over maybe and hold it by its collar. It's very,
if the actual collar's gone, you've got to hold them by the scruff of their neck. And if they're like toffee, they just keep biting you.
Trudy Akin, 2 days in a row, we woke up to no water until noon.
Oh my
Pain in
God.
the arm. Where are you all?
Jesus, what Tipperary was the first one. Susan, I think.
God, have we missed a big
Rue
story?
Zero, spark of joy. My pain has subsided today.
Yes, Victoria.
That's good news. No, not Victoria. Rue.
Oh, Rue.
Victoria, ye had to not. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Reese Roberts, I've always liked to bring up the one morning during the pandemic when you both got dressed as news anchors and shuffled the papers and everything. Felt like sketch comedy and so
we will
good.
shuffle the papers for you.
We'll do that
anytime.
again. We'll promise you. We'll do the shuffle papers tomorrow.
And Sharon Carter wants a mini moan. She does not have.
Yes, yeah.
Forgot to buy washing up liquid twice. I've got a load of
Oh,
washing up.
that's annoying.
That's annoying because it will all be stuck on now, won't it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I have to say, though, although I didn't have anything to moan about this morning, did anyone else wake up, and this is my segue into the news, with that anxiety? Well, I wake up with anxiety every morning, but I woke up with an extra anxiety as I went to the phone. And once again, Nads, I was in a different room. I think we're going to have to separate properly. And I immediately went to the phone to look at where were our warriors in the sea? Where were our Flotilla members? That was my first thought. My first moment was, oh my God, have they got through the night?
Yep. And
it looks like they have, but they had lots of kind of potential fears and worries, Israeli Navy ship around them, things like that. So we're going to go to a clip and we're going to play that.
Right.
How are you feeling about all of that?
Well, are we going into that topic now?
Yeah.
What?
Flotilla.
Okay. Well, first of all, I think we should set up what it is, because lots of people don't know still.
Okay. That was
so
they
because you sort of I wasn't quite
no, you weren't listening to me, because I did say
because I was just
no, I know, but I did say that the Gaza flotilla were there and
yes.
and yeah.
Well, so I am beyond horrified and disgusted that our mainstream media does not feel the need to be reporting on something that is really quite extraordinary, to the extent that I think that they should be. 44 different countries. I think 6 of the boats in it are actually British boats, and our government themselves have said that they are not going to in any way aid our citizens. They are not doing anything illegal. They are in international waters, and every time the flotilla has gone out, Israel has attacked them, taken them hostage, murdered some of them. I think that was 10 years ago, wasn't it?
2010, yeah.
2010.
Yeah.
And the last time, which was a few months ago, they were all taken hostage and taken into Israel, and then were told that they had entered Israel illegally and now needed to sign a piece of paper stating that to be released. Well, obviously they all said no, and they were put into prison and treated very badly. And this time, and that was bad enough, but this time Ben-Gvir, the illegal settler who's part of the Israeli government, and Smotrich have been pretty much throwing threats about right from day one of this flotilla, haven't they? They carry no weapons. They are completely committed to non-violence. They are a peaceful people, and they are merely trying to take food and supplies through into Gaza. Now, for all of those people that call these incredible human beings selfie seekers, the amount of ridiculous Hamas supporters, I think even yesterday, in
Well,
the
hang on,
midst
I'm
of
gonna
all
show
the
you that.
rubble,
I'm
we're
gonna show
going to
you
tell
that.
you something that's quite extraordinary. All the likes of Piers Morgan and, you know, the Daily Mail and the Telegraph that dismiss these people as narcissists who are just out there for their own egos inflame me, because these people that accuse these people of this are people that have never done an altruistic thing in their life, never done anything for anyone just because it's the right thing to do or the good thing to do, or to do the thing that actually puts you in harm's way. I couldn't do something like this. They are beyond brave. As Ben-Gvir this time has said, we will treat you like terrorists. You will go to the worst terrorist prisons. Now, we know Ben-Gvir loves a prison. He goes there on his days off. Do you know what I mean? He loves it. He loves to show videos of prisoners being humiliated and tortured. He gets off on this shit, right? And he has been threatening this all the way along. I'm sorry, I would have been, get me home. I just don't have that kind of bravery in me. And they are completely unarmed. And last night, they entered the red zone. Now, the red zone is where they expect to be taken hostage or to meet violence from the occupation army. And almost, but not quite last night. They just intimidated them last night, didn't they?
I mean, you know, where they've got to, where they've approached is the area where previous flotillas have been intercepted. I'm just seeing in the comments there that someone says Greta Thunberg received a message to leave. You know, what happened overnight was they're being stalked by an Israeli Navy ship. Our dear friend Christos was doing some research on the flight trackers last night. Lots of flight activity with RAF flights into and out of Qatar. This is not necessarily related to the flotilla, but two things that you did notice last night. There are two Turkish drones that are following the flotilla. Now, the interesting thing about that is the Turkish drones that are following the flotilla may well be there as witnesses to film and to chronicle and to show and to alert, you know, the rest of the world, actually, because we know that Turkey aren't particularly fond of Israel and their attitude to Gaza. Turkey was also, you know, the country from which the ship back in 2010, I think it was, 2012, where 10 members of that aid ship were killed when they were boarded by the IDF. So Turkey has sort of history, if you like, with aid flotillas in the most negative of fashion. So there are two Turkish drones. So I do wonder whether everyone felt that the approach was going to happen last night. Everyone felt the interception was going to happen last night. I'm going to show some clips in a moment of Yasmin specifically, and then one of the other crew members this morning talking about last night.
But I feel they just did that as a red flag so that everyone would activate, because they did this last time as well. Israel did it, so everyone would be activated.
I disagree. I think,
and then give up the next time.
Well, I think they're monitoring, and I think they're doing that kind of they're sort of circling, and they're kind of what we have noticed, or it hasn't been reported, is as many Israeli drones over the flotilla yet, which is what has happened on previous you know, attempts to get you know, to get aid in by ship. But the weird thing is that I do wonder whether the Turkish drones have made Israel have to kind of just hold back a little bit longer and consider their next move. But
there is no protection, because last time the occupying army did this whole PR game where they got on and they gave them sandwiches. And now, as soon as they were out of their boat and away from the security cameras, then they were under the Israeli army, and it's a totally different ball game. Immediately, do you remember the African American guy who they beat up? They kicked him. They were like really racist with him. Of course, that was all. So Turkey might be able to record what's going on the boat, but once they've got them off the boat.
No, absolutely right. But I think whatever that approach is, I just want to show you this. This is Novara Media that has a live. If you go to the Novara Media YouTube account,
on there.
You've got 5 or 6 CCTV cameras from some of the masts of some of the ships. So those are 6 ships represented there. So you can get quite a quick. Thank you, Ted Hammonds. That's very kind of you.
Thank you.
We'll thank the guys who did gifted memberships at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted.
But I just want to say just quickly, as Nadia indicated a moment ago, the most astonishing news, the most astonishing little kind of gyration, as I like to call them, in the Israeli propaganda playbook, which is just staggering and really, I think, potentially quite sinister in terms of what could happen to these heroes, these humanitarian heroes,
true heroes.
And just briefly, before I show you this tweet that the Israeli Foreign Ministry posted a couple of days ago, when people say the really oddest criticism that the Telegraph specifically indulges in describing these humanitarians in doing is a publicity stunt. A publicity stunt usually suggests you're doing something in a fraudulent fashion to promote something else or gain something from. No one on this mission is going to gain anything from what they're about to go through. I mean, Greta doesn't need any higher profile. Most of the kind, in terms of profile, and what is the profile for anyway? If there's publicity to be had here, it's not publicity. And this is why many of these activists live rent-free in the heads of Piers Morgan, FARAGE, Netanyahu, and
Trump.
all the like, Trump. The reason
they all hate Greta Thunberg as well, because they do not want to be questioned on their big fat cars or their private jets.
The reason she lives
consumerism.
But the reason she lives rent free in their heads is they can't fathom someone who's not driven by the same tools of capitalism and greed and consumption and profit and making money. So the only thing they can do is accuse her of what they are, which is narcissistic, egotistic, publicity stunt individuals or snake oil salesmen. But this is what believe it or not, this is what the Israeli Foreign Ministry posted, exposed.
This was yesterday, wasn't it?
Official Hamas documents found in the Gaza Strip, now revealed for the first time, prove Hamas's direct involvement in the funding and the execution of the Sumud Flotilla to Gaza. Obviously, the word execution doesn't mean killed. It means in the kind of conducting of the flotilla.
This is so hilarious. Like in the rubble, they have found this perfect document.
Like
that Hamas has written.
Like when they found the copy of Mein Kampf by Hitler
in
the rubble of a school.
Really, really, really tops it. It tops it for the kid with the chocolate all around their mouth saying we didn't eat the cookies. It's like, there is no genocide. The only people that we are the most moral army in the world. There have just been very, very few casualties. They stand there
absolutely
and lie. Like it's actually laughable.
Literally.
Did they really think that anyone other than a complete and utter Zionist who is already 1000% unable to look outside of the brainwashing that they've had is going to believe that you've just found that in Gaza City, a certificate proving that the flotilla is funded by Hamas?
Astonishing.
This is, as Greg Stoker says yesterday, Greg Stoker, who we mention nearly every day at the moment because we are just obsessed with Greg Stoker, ex-military man, special operations expert who has turned his back on the American army and imperialism, colonialism. He is something else. And what's he said?
No. That's fine.
And he said, this is just, they are ruffled. They are ruffled. He said, this mission has already been successful.
Yeah, totally.
He said, if you think about it, because geopolitically, these countries that have supported them, and have sent ships out, that is massive. Nobody questions Israel, as we know. God, I love the Spanish Prime Minister so much.
Yes, I do
Mark,
too.
if I wasn't married to you, I would be going mad and knocking up a paella for him. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, he probably says paella.
I'd be learning paella perfection.
But you do know he says paella.
Paella.
But if he says it, you like it.
Even Dina, my sister, who never wants to be within a spitting distance of a man again would throw it all away for him.
And also the fact we're not sleeping in the same room. I'm worried you are shifting away from me, babe.
Oh, he's so amazing. He's so decent.
Oh. Okay, just to push back on this idea that the mainstream
push back on the Spanish Prime Minister.
Don't like this chat. No, but more seriously, the Sky News is reporting this Thunberg aid flotilla aggressively circled by Israeli warship.
Good. Aggressively circled in vertical.
Yeah, these reckless and intimidatory maneuvers place participants at serious risk. Interfering with our passage is unlawful, and any attack or interception constitutes a war crime. I think we have to call it out as a positive when they are reporting on this.
This is good. This is good.
I'm going to show you two clips, principally revolving around Yasmin. You'll remember her from the previous flotillas. Yeah. She's one of the sort of lead. I think she's part of the steering group, literally.
And we both look like she blows us away. But just quickly before we go on to that, one of the things that Greg Stoker said yesterday, it's great that we're on social media and we're sharing stuff, but we really, he said to keep us safer, can everyone flood? This is about flooding your government. So whoever now you might say, oh, I never hear back from my MP, or they don't email back. It doesn't matter. You've got to do it. Just do it. That's
a really good point. And something I commented under yesterday, I think the Foodist was posting something. When you go and try and find the handle for who to copy in, Keir Starmer is obvious. Our mainstream media outlets is the next: Sky News, BBC, The Times, The Telegraph, all of them. And also there is a
Hamish Faulkner is who you can write to within our government, because he's Middle East.
And there are Instagram accounts for the Foreign Office and the Home Office. So when you click in, British Home Office, it will come up. So do click them all, because even if they just get a surge, I mean,
And Hamish Faulkner. MP is the one that you it's really interesting. I've emailed him a couple of times. He's never answered me, and then suddenly out of the blue 2 weeks ago, what do I get? An email from Hamish Faulkner. What's he saying? We are very proud to say that we are recognizing the state of Palestine. Oh, what you mean?
The state that has no one left,
that you've been ignoring, the one that you caused all this shit for in the first place 76 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, I just want to. So here are some clips. These are from these were some of the clips posted by Yasmin overnight. The other interesting, just as constantly keep prevaricating here. The other important thing to remember is there are those live feeds on the ships. Novara Media, many other news outlets are carrying them as well. Even Reuters. I mean, you can get to, and there are many kind of mast shots of various ships. So that's one way to find out what's happening when it happens. The other thing that does happen, and we've seen happen in previous flotillas, is they do try and interfere with their comms. They do suddenly lose coverage. I don't know if you remember when that boat was hit by the flare and Yusuf was kind of running around and suddenly the live disappeared. It really is incumbent on everyone, if you can, and you're recording, screen record things that go live. If they go live, or if something suddenly lands, let's not forget what Israel said about the algorithm. The algorithm works against this kind of coverage. And
we can't fight with weapons anymore. No. We have to fight with the algorithm. Yeah. He said it out loud. TikTok is now taken over by Israeli company. And I was watching a documentary, an interview yesterday with two TikTokers, a far left one and a far right one, and they said it's already in place. So anything that is that in their experience already so far, stuff about Muslims or Palestinians that is derogatory is allowed. Anything that questions Israel is taken down. This is their experience so far. The interview was on a independent news channel called Breaking Point, if you want to see it. So be very warned with TikTok. What you're going to be seeing is going to be propaganda left, right, and centre.
Now, important detail, it looks like their mobile coverage may have gone, which would account for the fact, and that could be what the Navy ship is doing. It could account for why there is quite a sort of paucity and lack of recent uploads on Instagram. A lot of them are kind of reaching back 2 or 3 hours. So let's quickly show this. This just gives you a sense of how quickly things can escalate. This was from last night.
Just get prepared, okay? It's okay. Don't run. Just take your time.
I need everyone up here. Come on, please position yourself. We might be going into interception. We have an unverified vessel right next to us with a platform. That might be the vessel coming from Israel.
We are currently on the Alma in international waters, 150 nautical miles away from the shores of Gaza. At approximately 3:18 a.m., we had a big vessel right behind me approaching. It just appeared out of nowhere. And we have more vessels that we can see that do not belong to the flotilla appearing more and more. We have up to 20 drones above us currently, and it seems that this will be an interception. We are not sure how they will intercept. We are all in position, as you can see. I want to again say we are hundreds of activists from around the world, almost 50 boats carrying humanitarian aid to a starving population, a population that is starved by Israel. We are talking about an illegal blockade of 18 years, a blockade that the world kept silent on. And this is why we're doing this. We're doing this because we are in solidarity with the people of Palestine. And we will not stop these actions because our governments are failing. And where governments are failing, we have to step in.
Okay, we have one other clip.
My name is Yasmin Ajar, steering committee member of Global Sumud Flotilla. Right behind me is the military vessel. They are intercepting us right now. We do not know how they will intercept us. I can currently only see one big military vessel. They have their lights off. We are in position right now. We're telling everyone to put their life vests on. Again, we are a non-violent mission. We carry nothing but humanitarian aid. We are hundreds of activists from around the world. We are almost 50 vessels, and we are being currently intercepted by the Israeli occupation forces in international waters. We are 145 nautical miles away from the shores of Gaza. And again, they are breaching international law. And if they attack us, this would be a war crime on the long list, added to the long list of war crimes of the Zionist entity.
I mean, you know, the bravery, the panic, the stress.
Most of them have children.
Most of them have children. The promise that the Israeli extremists have suggested they're going to indulge in, which is throw them into terrorist prisons, you know, throw the full...
The worst, the very worst of prisons. Yet a few days ago, there was a statement put out that the Israeli hospitals have been told to prepare themselves for the multiple casualties that were going to be coming in from the Sumud flotilla. Just intimidation tactics. And actually there is still a teeny bit of concern from the Israeli authorities around throwing people from all across the globe into their terrorist prisons. But we don't know, do we? There is a huge amount of impunity going on.
Another part of me wondered whether Israel might be pausing in striking or intercepting as the world theoretically is waiting for a response from Hamas to Donald Trump's suggestion that him and Tony Blair
we'll give you an offer only we'll give you an offer only you can refuse. And that means that we can finish off this job, pulverize Palestine into dust and build the Riviera. That's what the 21-point plan is about.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's the same Gaza Riviera, just skinned in a slightly different fashion, and yet somehow the kind of snake oil salesmen of the world have managed to convince many of the media, even some of the Arab nations, allegedly, though I wonder how much behind closed doors that's worked, to kind of get on board with. No one signed anything, and really, Tony Blair is not held in such high regard in the Middle East. Are we really looking?
What he did in Iraq?
But I do wonder whether that could be part of this, because I mean, imagine if Hamas and the other kind of organizations in Gaza said tentatively, okay, well, this is the deal. I wonder if that would then mean that Israel would intercept the flotilla, or whether the flotilla could then freely go and deliver its aid. Who knows? It could be tied in. This is the latest footage on Novara Media's, I think it's Novara Media's Instagram account.
Şu an etrafımızda geziyor. Geminin etrafında dönüyor. tur atıyor. Yani artık müdahalecik geminin önünü kesiyor şu an. Gördüğünüz askeri bot.
Now, of course, a military ship alongside them can do all those things. They can jam all sorts of radar, communications, mobile phone, everything. So, you know, I think, again, could it happen today? It could happen today. Well, it's certainly going to happen today or tonight. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen
You
today.
click on Chris. This is the dock workers, isn't it? The dock workers of Italy state that if they lost contact with the flotilla for even 20 minutes, they would stop all shipping to Israel. Not even a nail will reach this rogue state, they declared.
Wow.
When I saw that speech,
Wow.
I thought I was going to pass out with the beauty of it, the solidarity, the humanity of it, the bravery of it. Like, enough. And we have, imagine. Just imagine if more of the world just did these simple things. We're not playing. We're just not playing the game. You know, there is such power in numbers and doing something as what may seem small as that, but it's massive, isn't it, Mark?
It really
if they
is.
just refuse to send everything. And you know what? Dockers of the world, imagine your power, the power that you have if you all join together on this. To stop a genocide. It is a genocide. It is.
It really
we
is.
can say it freely now. We've been saying it from the beginning, but the United Nations have now cast it in stone. It's genocide.
I was just distracted there. Owen Jones, please follow him. Another great journalist, independent journalist, activist, just been literally laboring under the weight of reporting on this topic since the beginning. He's just posted, the Labour Chancellor at the Labour Party conference, Rachel Reeves, addresses Labour friends of Israel, saying, I will always be a friend of Israel. I will be here for you this year, the next year, and the one after that.
Whilst Israel is committing a genocide.
And this is Owen Jones, who's had his pass and access to the Labour Party conference rejected, hasn't he?
Confiscated yesterday after a decade of reporting and videoing and interviewing at the Labour Party conference. Yesterday, it was taken away because he was asking questions about the genocide.
Owen Jones says about his being confiscated, apparently me asking ministers questions about Israel they couldn't answer makes me morally equivalent to facilitating a genocide. What he was apparently told by someone in the Labour Party, you spent your time at the conference trying to stitch anyone you could up with your stupid microphone. Stop claiming sainthood.
Ooh, wow.
Got under their skin. I mean, when you know that the Labour Party and the Labour government is the best hope we've got at the moment.
And they will not be asked questions. I said, Trump is alive and well and living in this country already, isn't he? That is influenced by a foreign government, if ever, two foreign governments, America and Israel. We can't ask the questions anymore. I mean, think about that, guys. Just think about that. That's scary shit. Don't even ask the goddamn question unless it's a question we want to answer. What does that sound like?
And Richard Tice, the other guy in the Reform Party, that really quite hideous guy to listen to. He was in Israel with the foreign minister apologizing for us recognizing a state of Palestine. So, it doesn't take huge imaginative leaps to see where we're heading. If Labour doesn't get a grip on this. So
apparently New Zealand is taking people very easily if you want to emigrate to New Zealand.
But New Zealand didn't recognise the genocide. A lot of people in New Zealand are very unhappy. On the Labour Party conference, Keir Starmer dedicated his speech to someone else who's living, unfortunately, rent-free in his head. It's a great phrase, that, isn't it? Living rent-free. Farage is rent-free in Starmer's head. But the headline's coming from his speech, Decency or Division? Britain faces an era-defining choice, Keir Starmer warns. There's lots of Labour members waving flags. I think, oh God, it's student union again. And we're going to get onto his snake oil comment. I'm just going to play you a couple of clips from Starmer. Please don't turn off. I know it's hard, but here we go.
My dad. I think by now you know what he did for a living. But then again, do you?
Oh, no.
Do you really know the skill, the craft, the precision that goes into tool making. Now,
I thought for a moment he was going with the gag.
I liked that gag.
I like the gag, and then he ruined it by getting serious.
Did you get the funny
last time that you heard Nigel Farage say anything positive about Britain's future? He can't. He doesn't like Britain, doesn't believe in Britain, wants you to doubt it just as much as he does. So he resorts to grievance. They all do. They want to turn this country, this proud, self-reliant country, into a competition of victims, saying to you, to working people, don't trust in each other. You can't fix this. This is not a great country. But it is, conference. It is a great country. It will always be a great country. A decent, pragmatic, tolerant, reasonable country that throughout history has stood its ground, stuck by its values, and built its future without fuss. That's the Britain I'm fighting for, conference. A nation of resolve, a land of respect, a Britain built for all.
Apart from if you're Palestinian, of course, or you're anti-genocide. It's also a country that stands for genociding.
But what I'm pleased about is he's coming out strongly against Farage, because it's felt like he's been hedging his bets and trying to do a bit of reform and trying to do a bit of the Tories. And it's like, who are you? I think unless you go for who you are, you know, politics is all about these guys, Farage, Trump, these guys, they shout really loudly about who they are. They give really clear messaging that people can hold on to. And if you're wishy-washy and woolly and just trying to like please all the people all of the time, you know, that's, you know, he's gone on and on about working people. Will show that, be that, because he's right. Farage doesn't care about this country and he doesn't care about working people, just like Trump didn't care. You know, they both come from very wealthy families. He went to the most expensive school in the country, Farage. He knows nothing about the working man, but he knows how to hold a pint and smoke a fag. And, you know, it's all those tricks. And so like you're sort of wishy-washy and you've always got a tone that you're telling people off. And you piss off people like us that want to vote for a really strong Labour Party because you're sounding a little bit like Farage, and then a bit more like Farage. You know, who are you? Are you anti-racist, Keir? Well, because it's no good anymore just saying, "Oh, I'm not racist." You've got to be anti-racist, because unless you're anti-racist, we are heading for a hell in a handcart. Honest to God.
I mean, I think the days of the Labour Party trying to kind of, you know, charm and hold on to the reform voters that have gone definitively away from them.
Not going to.
You can't grab that. You stand a far stronger chance of standing by your fucking values, fighting racism, calling it out when you see it. I mean, it's a good point anyway, Sessions mates, that the Green Party, Zach said reform are racist and now Starmer is. I mean, he lacks leadership. He lacks kind of the ability to lead with a kind of, you know, new front of thought. He follows everyone. He responds to what's actually going on. His think tanks do a little analysis and focus groups, and then he cobbles together some kind of policy. I don't feel there's any instinctive leadership coming from him whatsoever.
I'm afraid we have to read that out. Isn't Keir racist? I think he's not far from it, despite the mask. He hasn't declared a genocide yet. He believes that it's okay to turn the water off to a Palestinian people because they're brown people, because he would not say that about any nation where people were white. So in my opinion, he has shown me since he's been in power that he is most definitely racist. That's what he's shown me, in my opinion. So good point, Farida.
My all makes a point. Thing is, it's a good speech from a man none of us can trust the word of. If he had been given these kind of speeches from the start and meant them, this country would be in a much better place. Me too. We should not be shy to label all reform support as racism. Starmer is a hollow man, says Aussie13. I mean, I do want to make the point, and I do want to stress this, that if you support reform, it doesn't necessarily mean you are racist. But if you are a racist, you are more than likely going to support reform. And you're going to see. Now, a lot of people who you wouldn't have the phrase, I'm not racist, but if the vast majority or if a huge number of people genuinely don't think they're racist,
yes,
but they are racist.
Yes.
And I think that middle area there is where the offense could be taken by what Labour said. And all over the radio yesterday, right-wing radio presenters, all the right-wing papers were saying this is outrageous. Not what Farage is saying or encouraging is outrageous, but what the Labour Party have said of reform supporters is outrageous. That's how it's being reported. And I think where that outrage might sit, when I was listening to a number of the members of the public who were phoning in yesterday, I do think we can't ignore that there is a healthy number of people in the country who don't realise that they have endemic racism within them, and that reform are tickling that, feeding it and nurturing it. And those are the people that Labour need to get to, really. They need to talk about the fact that, you know, just because you might have been drawn into this idea, just because you are worried about migration, because Farage has sold you some snake oil serum, you can change that thinking. You can step back from it. I do think there's an idea often in this country that once you are one thing politically, you are it forever.
Yeah.
I think politics and being a human is an
Isn't
evolutionary...
the whole of life like that at the moment?
So he did call him a snake oil salesman. I mean, this is a phrase that's been used. And the Guardian's got this great article about what's the origin of this phrase. And I do love a little bit of kind of micro history. Here's an advert from America.
Isn't that great?
And this is Clark
Snake oil
Stanley's
liniment.
snake oil liniment. And
this was basically this oil promised the world,
Yes.
didn't it? That it would cure your rheumatism, neuralgia, sciatica, lame back, lumbago, contracted cords, toothache, sprains, swellings, frostbite, chilblains, bruises, sore throat, bites of animal insects and reptiles,
good,
and on and on.
And it says good for man or beast. But when you look into it, the vintage US term originated in the late 19th century to describe someone who was selling something that did not deliver on its promises. The original snake oil salesman was probably this guy, Clark Stanley, who was the self-proclaimed rattlesnake king, who sold a topical treatment for joint pain, which he said came from snakes. Apparently, it ended up being mineral oil, beef fat, chili pepper extract, and turpentine. And 20 years into the lie, it was uncovered, which meant that eventually he had to pay a £15 or $20 fine.
Can you imagine people rubbing turpentine onto the... I mean, can you imagine the illnesses, the cancers he would have caused?
No.
And the thing is, you know, it's like Trump came in and promised the world, didn't he? And we're starting to see the collapse now. And it's the same with Farage, because deep down, Farage wants to privatize the NHS. You know that, right? Everyone knows that, right? So everyone that wants to vote Farage is going to be able to get private healthcare, yeah, like in America. Look into that, folks.
Furby Hive Mind, snake oil salesman accuses snake oil salesman of selling snake. Very good.
I like it.
Very good. I like it. Should we have a funny?
Yeah. Yes.
Before we
Let's have a little break. Before we go to Hegseth. Dad didn't see the speech yesterday. So
we've got
Dad,
many clips.
Don't worry, Teddy. We'll look after you on this.
We got many clips, Teddy. All for you. One after the other. You might be absolutely horrified, but I hope you haven't got a weirdo beardo, and I hope you're not a dude in a dress. I've never, ever heard a room so quiet. You can applaud if you wish. I kid you not. Anyway.
Is that what he said?
I've got the clear.
Oh my God.
Wait 1 minute.
You
Wait
can
1 minute.
applaud. No.
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus.
Okay, here we go. When your husband goes to get food and it takes him 45 minutes.
Hey,
Labour.
what took you so long? I was trying to call you.
No.
I was trying to call you, babe. What took you so long?
No.
Why did it take you so long to get food?
Oh my gosh, baby, please let me hold him. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I had to do it.
Jesus, help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. Babe.
Oh, I feel bad now.
Oh my gosh.
It really did take you a long time.
The cafeteria, I got caught. Wait. I had to walk all the way around the whole thing. I'm shaking.
I went and asked him for a blanket, and she said, "You're not in there having a baby, are you?"
I had to walk all the way around the whole Wow.
He was still kind of like, wow, the baby's here. He couldn't.
Yeah.
He'd gone so far into the vibe of like the
into
baby's
welcoming
here, that he couldn't
fatherhood.
get out.
Yeah, he was a father right there. It
Oh
happened.
my God.
Oh, look, good ship lollipop. My kid's dad went for food when I was in labour, but went to the pub for the afternoon. Came back pissed as a fart. Jesus Christ, good ship.
Do you want to know my dad's story?
Oh, Teddy, you prepare yourself, Teddy.
Teddy tells this story, and this is my dad. So when my mum was going into labour with my eldest sister Dina, Dad tells the story that your mother came down the stairs and she had a little case, okay? And I watched her walk, open the gate, go down the lane, go off to get the bus.
Well,
And he woke up 10 hours later, half naked, drunk on the floor, the kitchen floor. My dad.
He was drunk on the kitchen.
Yes. He's not even a drinker.
So he watched your mum head off to the hospital.
Yeah, to get the bus.
To have a baby.
Yeah, that's the way it used to be. And I was telling the girls at Loose Women this, and Ruth,
Teddy.
and they were all going, oh yeah, my mum just got the bus and went as well. All this fuss about, and like Ruth was saying that her mum used to say, we didn't have time for the menopause.
How funny. Allegedly, the so-called father, that we not confirmed mum is my father, but the man that
She's
thought,
still having a think while she decides.
the man who thought he was my father at the point that my mother had me wasn't there because he was at a Who concert. They both had tickets for the Who.
So he went anyway.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
Things have changed.
Okay, we've got another funny for later. So let's kick this off. This is obviously Me Too. I owe you huge apologies for doubting your veracity here, or your trust that all he was doing was calling everyone in, Hegseth. Literally every lead top American admiral, general, the highest brass of the American army, all brought to one location.
From around the world, brought to one location, which I cannot stop thinking, didn't that put them in real risk?
Yeah, very vulnerable everywhere.
Well, let's blow up all the American generals in one go.
Yeah. Unless maybe behind closed doors they had a conversation about something else. But so Hegseth was there. We've got some clips from him. He's there. Is he now the Secretary of War? He's not the Secretary of Defense. He's the Secretary of War.
So Trump got in on being the non-war president, and then immediately changed the name to the Office of War.
We've got some clips now that there may be some repeat because I've sourced them from different places. Some are longer, some have been subclips. So apologies if there's a repeat, but they're so arresting. They can tolerate being watched more than once, I'm afraid. And what you've got in store is the most extraordinary collection of insults and comments on people being fat, health, beards, trans. It's astonishing. But we're going to start with Trump's arrival on stage and what he said when he first got on the stage.
I've never walked into a room so silent before. This is don't laugh. You're not allowed to do that. You know what? Just have a good time. And if you want to applaud, you applaud. And if you want to do anything you want, you can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank. There goes your future.
That was canned laughter.
That was canned laughter.
They put that
was canned laughter.
Who thinks that was canned laughter?
It was canned laughter. Those men.
No heads moved.
Their heads didn't move. And when you cut to the front shot, which we see later, no one said anything. So he walks on.
So cringe.
Let's just have a listen one more time.
I've never walked into a room so silent before. This is don't laugh. You're not allowed to do that. You know what? Just have a good time. And if you want to applaud, you applaud. And if you want to do anything you want, you can do anything you want. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank. There goes your future.
Nobody laughed. Not a head moves. That's canned.
I know. Staggering.
Kim Jong-un.
Okay.
That's what I keep thinking these days.
Here's another clip of Trump. We're going to get to Hegseth. Here comes another clip.
Nuclear, I moved a submarine or two, I won't say about the two, over to the coast of Russia, just to be careful, because we can't let people throw around that word. I call it the N-word. There are two N-words, and you can't use either of them. can't use either of them. And frankly, if it does get to use, we have more than anybody else. We have better, we have newer, but it's something we don't ever want to even have to think about.
Nuclear.
Oh,
So yeah, and just this one.
never forget.
Only in recent decades did politicians somehow come to believe that our job is to police the far reaches of Kenya and Somalia, while America is under invasion from within. We're under invasion from within.
You're not.
No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms. But we are under invasion from within. We're stopping it.
This lot don't wear uniforms. He's talking about Americans.
So he wants. So what's so scary about these speeches are they are preparing them to say, we want to put you on the streets against American civilians. And why generals in the past, he got rid of those, refused to do that. Do you remember when he said, can't you just shoot them all in the knees? Just shoot them all in the knees. And why the generals were sacked was the ones that refused to do that. It's because we are not trained to deal with civilians. We are trained to shoot people, to kill people.
In war zones.
America has not been invaded. He's just using this language because that's the only way within the Constitution. He can put the army out against their own people. He can stall elections and he can stay in power. A dictator.
A dictator. I mean, he's trying to suggest that there's a war scenario evolving in Portland. And I've had the great luxury of filming in Portland, doing a run in Portland.
Isn't that a really
it's
hippie
a
place,
really
Portland?
hippie place. If there's, I would have thought most people there are so fucking stoned that they can't fucking organize a war. There is no war to be had in Portland. He's aiming for the most liberal,
all the
left-wing Democrat states. So just
but it will bleed out and it will bleed in because there's a lot of MAGA people who were like, yeah. And this is what I would say to people that think that the whole migrant crisis is every immigrant in the country, because this is what's happening to some MAGA people now. They go, oh no, our friend who's a Mexican, our friend, no, we didn't want her to go. Oh, right. Oh, wow. See, genie's out the bottle now because you don't think about the people that you love and the people that you know and the person down the street who you say hello every day and seems perfectly nice and has got a family and is hardworking. You didn't realize that was going to affect.
And like Pacman 67 says, what civilians is he talking about? Blacks, gays, trans, lefties.
And then anyone who disagrees.
Absolutely. Going to play your next clip.
We're under invasion from within. No different than a foreign enemy. I told Pete we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military. Last month, I signed an executive order to provide training for a quick reaction force that can help quell civil disturbances. This is going to be a big thing for the people in this room because it's the enemy from within, and we have to handle it before it gets out of control. It won't get out of control. Once you get involved at all. You saw it in Washington. We had gangs of Trendy Arag with 10, 12, 15 kids. And these military guys walk up to them and they treat them with disrespect and they just got pounded. They just got pounded. The gang just pounded. Then thrown into paddy wagons and taken back to their country.
What's a paddy wagon? That sounds very insulting.
Yeah. Look, Susan makes a good point. We always knew that what's happening in Palestine would come to us.
All together now, in our thousands, in our millions, we are all Palestinians. And Greg Stoker was really good on this the other day. He was going, do not think that it... And you see the way he gets off on and then thrown into the worst prison. It's very Ben Gvir-like. Yes. There are these men that get they get a little kick. They get quite a big kick of getting big men to throw other big men into prison. That's all I'm saying.
Let's hear from the War Secretary.
The War Secretary.
You ready?
Let's go.
The military has been forced by foolish and reckless politicians to focus on the wrong things. In many ways, this speech is about fixing decades of decay. For too long, we've promoted too many uniformed leaders for the wrong reasons. Based on their race, based on gender quotas, based on historic so-called firsts. Foolish and reckless political leaders set the wrong compass heading, and we lost our way. We became the woke department, but not anymore. This administration has done a great deal from day one to remove the social justice, politically correct, and toxic ideological garbage that had infected our department, to rip out the politics. No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris. As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that.
Dudes in dresses.
Dudes in dresses. He managed to insult practically everybody, didn't he?
Yeah.
Beardo, weirdos.
I've got one last clip here.
Yeah,
Let me play you this.
It all starts with physical fitness and appearance. If the Secretary of War can do regular hard PT, so can every member of our joint force. Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are. So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general, you need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test. And we're not talking like hot yoga and stretching.
Hot yoga.
Real hard PT, either as a unit or as an individual. This also means grooming standards. No more beards, long hair. We don't have a military full of Nordic pagans. No more beardos. The era of rampant and ridiculous shaving profiles is done.
Right.
The era of rampant.
First of all, he'd be crying like a baby if you got him to do hot yoga. Have you ever done hot yoga? It is hard. Can we just run through a little bit of his history?
I'm still in shock. Each time I listen to him, I can't fathom it. And can we please? But can I just say, not a single cutaway of the crowd.
Nothing. So this is in the New Yorker. This is a whistleblower.
Tony my chins have hit the floor.
It's unbelievable.
You are funny, Tony.
So Hegseth's record before becoming a full-time Fox News TV host in 2017, and that's where Trump first fell in love with him, was watching him on Fox. Now, first of all, before anything else, does anyone else, I'm imagining him, right? He's got a really huge bedroom now. He's the president of war or whatever it is.
Yeah.
With loads of mirrored cupboards. And he's been practicing that speech back and forth. He's run that speech 5,000 times because he didn't write. I don't think he wrote it.
No.
Did he? So he's been practicing that because he can read autocue because he was the Fox weekend host. He was demoted to be.
Yeah.
So
he couldn't survive one class of Bikram yoga, says Victoria.
No. Could you, Mark?
Mark Anderson, not in the mood for humor after that Nazi tirade. It's fucking frightening, guys.
It's terrifying.
It's fucking frightening.
His background is just petrifying.
Didn't he nearly not make the cut the grade because he drank too much, was abusive to one of his partners, his women, girlfriends or wives,
the whistleblower
allegedly?
says 2017 he had been accused of rape and paid, settled with the woman. Yes, drinking problem.
Which
I think he
in
was
and of
removed.
itself isn't a thing, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot.
But imagine those generals knowing this and having to sit there and listen to this. A trail of documents corroborated by the council former colleagues indicate that Hegseth was forced to step down. This is both of the non-profit advocacy groups that he worked for, which was a big part of his I'm qualified for this. Veterans for Freedom and Concerned Veterans for America in the face of serious allegations of financial mismanagement, sexual impropriety, and personal misconduct. And They will all know this, and they are sitting, and many of them will have fought. Many of them will have seen active service, won't they? And they've had to sit there and listen to him basically cover the gamut of people that you could insult, hasn't he? He's just insulted everyone.
But it's okay to drink excessively and take cocaine. You've got to do all your PT. You mustn't be fat. None of you must be fat. But it's okay to indulge in recreational drugs and drinking lots.
There's actually a bit where he goes, if your president of war can do a tough PT every day or whatever it was he said, then so can you. It's just like,
but like someone just said in the chat, I don't know who said it. It was a very good point. Do these same requirements apply to the commander in chief when he's eating McDonald's and kind of flapping around the White House?
Listen. Okay, the thing is, if you're in the police and if you're in the army, you should be fit. So that's.
But there are different shapes and sizes.
But you didn't need to. He was peacocking in the most horrendous way, and actually, that is a new thing that goes out on email from this day for everyone's doing 3 PT sessions a week. You're going to be tested twice a year for your fitness. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think it's the same with the police and with the army.
Yes.
But it's the insult. It's the derision.
Yes.
It's the derision and the division.
Yes.
And this constant, you can all just leave if you don't like it. It just feels, the whole thing feels so dictator.
Do you know what FAFO means?
No.
Do you want to find out?
Yeah, go on.
Enemies choose foolishly to challenge us. They will be crushed by the violence, precision, and ferocity of the War Department. In other words,
wait for it.
To our enemies, FAFO. If necessary, our troops can translate that for you.
Fuck around and find out.
Nice. Thugs are in power. Thug language. It goes on and on. Look up the New Yorker in this piece about all the things. So, this man does not command respect with his past.
He's the Secretary of War. See you in Valhalla, said Kash Patel.
What's that?
Remember that? In the aftermath of Charlie Kirk, he shouted to the ceiling, "I will see. We will reunite in Valhalla," which is a non-Christian heaven, isn't it? I mean, for all this, their religion is very fucked up. Like
yes, Claire, that's so right. He actually he condoned bullying. He said there is going to be no. You want to put your hands on your soldiers, you put your hands on them. You want to deride them and take the piss out of them, you do it. The whole bullying, thank you for reminding me of that. The whole bullying part of the speech was just horrible. And you can imagine Trump getting all excited backstage because he was going to go on next at that whole bit, the bullying bit.
Just the harnessing and hijacking of religion is so confusing. We've got far-right people in this country running around with a St. George's flag when St. George was Palestinian. You've got all the Americans getting their knickers in a twist about beardo weirdos when Jesus had a beard, long hair, and was also Palestinian. Actually, weirdly, most of the important kind of saints and religious figures of history were Palestinian. But what we're seeing happen is Israel completely genocide Palestine. Wow, what a weird, confusing.
Setup. And then the Americans, Christians that are supporting Israel, when we see how the Christians are being treated in Israel. I mean, it's just so fucked up.
But they're not American Christians.
They're only American Christians. So we got another funny.
Yeah.
Daddy, baby brother just rolling at you. I'm done. Mama, I'm done. You farted on me.
I think you pooped on him.
Running back.
Running back.
She pooped. Get him off of me. Get him off me.
Oh, careful.
She just farted on me.
He's looking at you.
Farted.
He farted.
She was my favourite.
That is ASMR on another level, Farida. I reckon Hegseth makes that sound when he's had a few too many. I reckon he sharks.
Where was that report yesterday that Hegseth has become very paranoid and very...
Oh, an insider at the Pentagon says he's frantic. He's
running around, he's incredibly paranoid.
Yeah, I felt the suggestion there was something else, but I don't know what.
Yeah,
maybe
God
he's just
knows.
a bit
We don't know.
stressed.
The thing is, all of this stuff is whistleblowers, so we don't know. But he displays an awful lot of strange
erratic. Okay, guys, so all eyes on the Flotilla. We will keep across the live feeds. Novara Media, Middle East Eye on YouTube, the Freedom Flotilla have their own live feed too.
Yeah, and as we say, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It messes the algorithm, because I do worry that the next thing is going to be YouTube. And then, you know, where are we all going to chat about?
Well, we'll just be doing press ups.
This kind of news.
Yeah.
So keep pushing it out. Let YouTube know that you want this kind of content as well, you know.
Absolutely.
And what else? So thank you.
Thanks.
And
hope you're well, Teddy. Hope you enjoyed that.
Teddy, I'll pop over and see you in a minute. And also, guys, can we just say to you that if you want to join the members area and get over there, it's totally politics free. Also, there's lots of content on here that's politics free: the curly cooks, the gardening, the movies, but
home times.
But we're getting really cozy with our members area as well. We're getting cozy early. We were chatting about Vlogmas last night, weren't we? When we were doing it, it's just really nice. So but meanwhile, we love you, and I'm not sure when we'll see you again. I think we'll see you tomorrow at 10, but I think we're doing a podcast on later today.
Yeah.
So
okay, guys, lots of love.
Lots
have a good day. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.